Triple H was absolutely cooking last night, but I'm not sure for how long he can though.
Triple H? Triple H!
Dude, that is a crime scene. I don't know if I ever watched WWE and left thinking, are we seeing these people next week? I don't think he's breathing, people. I don't think he's breathing. Seth Rollins made his return. Drew McIntyre quit WWE. Uncle Howdy's faction debut was wild. Literally couldn't be any better in my opinion. Probably will end up being the best Raw of 2024, so let's talk about it. Welcome back to Greatness Overall. Like, subscribe with notifications on. Let's talk about the show. So the show kicks off in a big way. Pretty unexpected return of Seth Freakin Rollins, and he has his eyes set on the World Heavyweight Championship, teasing that he's going to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. But Damian Priest said, forget about the ladders, me and you one-on-one Money in the Bank premium live event. And of course Seth Rollins accepts. Man, first of all, I'm so glad that Damian Priest is okay, because I gotta be honest right here, I didn't even talk about it during my review because I felt like it was a spot. Now, obviously, that was stupid of me, that was dumb, but, you know, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest saved it so well, I thought it was a part of a plan, because the spot looked amazing, it looked really, really good. Unfortunately, it was serious, but it seems like Damian Priest is okay, because he said, I'm not gonna relinquish the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, when it comes to Seth Rollins, so happy to see the man. He probably needed that break, and maybe the fans needed a bit of a break from Seth Rollins too, because now, you know, it's so different watching him. I miss this shit. I even miss when people are singing along to his theme song, which I found annoying sometimes. The reason I like this match is because Damian Priest became a World Heavyweight Champion without beating Seth Rollins. He beat Drew McIntyre by cashing in, and Seth Rollins is the longest reigning World Heavyweight Champion so far, so I feel like he needs to beat Seth Rollins because he needs to make it clear. I didn't win this championship just because I cashed in my Money in the Bank briefcase. I'm a World Heavyweight Champion because I beat Seth Rollins too. I think that's a pretty cool story, and hopefully Damian Priest is going to win. I found Chad Gable versus Braun Strowman pretty weird. Now, the match is fine, okay? Braun Strowman right now is just chilling on Raw. He's not necessarily doing much. He's just a big-ass babyface. Although the way Pat McAfee introduces him is just lovely. Makes me like Strowman more. So Chad Gable loses, and they're telling a story of Chad Gable, you know, not being able to win without Alpha Academy's help, which they didn't. They didn't help Chad Gable at all. So, you know, Chad Gable is angry at Alpha Academy. He wants to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, become a world champion. The qualifying match is happening next week. I think Chad Gable died. But Chad, that's what you get for re-signing with the WWE. Now I know it's not that big of a deal, but after he lost at WWE's premium live event, I felt like he needed a W, so I found that a little weird, but I get the storytelling. Apparently, Finn Bálor threw away the key. Of course he did. Of course he did. Damian! I don't care about the key. Wait, that's Drew McIntyre. I don't care about the key. He also said he plans on winning the Money in the Bank briefcase and teases a cash-in. Of course he was joking. Sure he was. Finn Bálor is a liar, man. He's a sneaky-ass liar. So then we got a women's qualifying triple threat match, which was actually pretty decent, and we saw Liv Morgan with Dominic Mysterio's jacket. So Io Sky takes the W, she qualifies. During Carlito versus Dragon Lee, she came out with the jacket again, and Carlito won the match. Now, Dominic apparently has nothing to do with it, and he wants his jacket back. Damian catches him in 4K. Dominic, why are you unzipping the titties? No time for titties, time for Judgment Day to rule Monday Night Raw! So I guess we get it now, right? Like, Dominic has nothing to do with it. In Pro Wrestling Universe, when a camera is filming you backstage, it doesn't exist. Like, we're not supposed to see this shit most of the time. Unless we are and they're acting, but I don't think that's the case. Liv is just fucking with Dominic Mysterio until Dominic decides to fuck back or something. You know what I mean, right? I think that is going to be the biggest swerve. Once we get Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, we get this match, and eventually Dominic is going to pick Liv Morgan during the match, helping her win against Rhea Ripley. That's a pretty cool moment. Sami Zayn wants new challengers. He hopes Alpha Academy can move on from Chad Gable. And we see Braun Breaker. Dude, I popped so hard for this. I feel like Braun needs to be the one who beats Sami Zayn for that championship now. Holy shit. Really unfortunate that it didn't happen with Chad Gable though. So Braun Breaker says he's coming for that Intercontinental Championship, and we see Sheamus. Sheamus wants that IC title too because he never won that championship. Braun Breaker is offended that Sheamus didn't even pay any attention to him. Sami says, I'll talk to Adam Pearce and you can settle that in the ring. Which is pretty much a number 1 contenders match. I don't think it was officially that, but if you win this match, you probably get a championship opportunity. The problem is, well, let's talk about it. We got a match. Great. Banger. Holy shit. These two, again, every time I see Sheamus in the ring, I'm just ready. I get the fucking popcorn. I'm watching this shit. This man proved how great he is. Every match Sheamus is in is worth your attention. And Braun Breaker, already a huge fan. Didn't even watch him in NXT. Came to Raw, and I came with him. But we got Ludwig Kaiser. He attacks Sheamus. Now, that was unexpected. Braun Breaker spears the shit out of Ludwig Kaiser. He doesn't care. He's not here to make friends. Man, the IC Championship title scene is just so good. It's been for like the past 6 months or even more, man. Everything with Gunther. This championship is... what a resurgence. Oh, fuck, man. Resurgence. I was so excited for Drew McIntyre. I really wanted to see how much he lost his goddamn mind, and he absolutely did. He could barely talk, and he basically said, I'm done with this company, I quit. Backstage, we even saw footage with him and Triple H, Adam Pearce, and he basically said, I heard what you said about CM Punk. I think that's what he said. You could barely hear that, but, you know, Triple H talked about CM Punk in post-show press conference of the premium live event we just saw, and he basically complimented CM Punk, saying how great it is to have him. And obviously in kayfabe, what we just got was CM Punk costing Drew McIntyre his World Heavyweight Championship. So we see Adam Pearce chasing Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre is committing to this shit. He deactivated his Twitter account. Drew is so fucking good, man. Like, I want to see him as a world champion, but when it comes to the story, it doesn't even make any sense for him to be the world champion. Maybe this rivalry doesn't need a championship. My biggest thing is, I want to see CM Punk as a World Heavyweight Champion. I know it's stupid, maybe. I just want to see it. I don't care if he's not young or whatever. If he, I don't want to say can prove, but if he can wrestle a number of matches and not get injured, I want to see it. Now, CM Punk is going to be on SmackDown, so I do expect CM Punk calling Drew McIntyre out. Obviously, Drew is not leaving the WWE or even taking a long break from it. Maybe for personal reasons. I've heard his wife got a surgery during Clash at the Castle. So, big respect for Drew McIntyre for being such a professional and still delivering at such a high level. But we'll see, man. Whatever the case may be, this works for the story. I get where Drew McIntyre is coming from. CM Punk just did something stupid in kayfabe, and the boss is saying, great job. CM Punk is great having around. We got another qualifying match. Jay, Ray, Finn Bálor. We got a lot of interferences during this one. And of course, Jey Uso ended up winning. So Finn Bálor is not gonna be Mr. Money in the Bank. But then the lights go out. We got the Bray Wyatt setup. It hurt a little bit because, you know, Bray is not gonna come out of it, right? Like, that kind of sucked. But I refused to talk about this for such a long time because I didn't want to make any assumptions. I was really skeptical about this, and I'll explain in a second. But first of all, we see, I guess, Sister Abigail. Creepy ass shit right here. We see Eric Rowan. And then backstage, it's a crime scene. Blood, smoke, everybody's down. I think Gunther, Chad Gable. It doesn't even look like they're unconscious. It looks like they died. What happened to Triple H? And we see all these characters, and once they cut to Uncle Howdy, I felt a different aura than the last time I saw him. So we see the whole Wyatt 6, I think it's called, we'll see. This is something I've never seen in the WWE before. So I didn't talk about it, you know, before they debuted because obviously I want this to succeed, but I had my doubts. Biggest reason being I didn't see Uncle Howdy as a good leader. I didn't feel like this character is that interesting. I didn't really like the look of it that much. So I just felt like I'm gonna wait and see. I hope it's gonna work out. I really do. I like Bo Dallas. I think he's a great talent, and, you know, obviously we all loved Bray Wyatt so much, so I hope this is gonna work out. So when I saw Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, whatever the name is going to be right now, I felt like this was different. The subtle changes they made with the look led to major improvements in my opinion. This doesn't look like a Bray Wyatt sidekick. This looks like a completely different character to me than what we saw with Bray. I'm so happy I was wrong. I was watching this and felt like, okay, this does feel like a leader of a faction, of a cult. And again, I don't think WWE could have done it any better. The gorilla position looked like a crime scene. I don't think you can make it even more effective than that. Like, now, I'm interested in how the WWE is going to change. Obviously, next week, you can't just welcome people to Raw and everything is fine. This needs to be addressed. Something, I don't know, the whole WWE against this faction, something like this is going to happen. I'm so interested in this. Obviously, we don't know if it's gonna succeed. So far, so good. And the first impression is always very, very important. And I felt like this was fucking great. I really love this shit, man. And I'm so fucking happy that Bo Dallas can continue his brother's legacy in that way. Hopefully WWE are not gonna fuck that up and we can get some cool shit. So thank you for watching this video. Like, subscribe, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.